What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I am wrestling with myself. This is a really fun time of year to be a wrestling fan. I have not covered much, if any, wrestling on my channel lately, but this is a really premium time as a fan because this time of year, a lot of contracts are running out, and there's a lot of free agents bouncing around, and with all the emergence of the new companies this year and how big everything has gotten, I mean, there's a lot of companies in the market for more talent, and there's a lot of talent in the market to switch companies. So I really enjoy this kind of fantasy booking, kind of seeing who the free agents in wrestling are and where they could wind up with the new year. I mean, we've got WWE now has like 6 brands between the Cruiserweights, NXT UK, NXT, Raw, SmackDown. They've got all kinds of brands, and they're looking to fill up. They've got more talent on their roster than they ever had before. They have like several hundred people on these combined rosters, and so they're looking to staff completely. AEW emerged this year and came out and got on TNT, and they need some more guys. They've got a 2-hour show each week to fill, so they need to make their roster deeper. They're looking for more guys. MLW has been doing the beIN Sports pay-per-views. They got on national pay-per-view this year, just a few months ago. They're breaking through and doing a lot more as a company this year. They're looking for more spots and guys to make up. NWA just came out this year. They've got a YouTube show they're trying to get on TV. They need more talent as well. So you've got a bunch of companies. I mean, Impact is still actively signing talent. Ring of Honor is going to need to replace a bunch of talent they're going to be losing coming up. So you've got a bunch of companies right now that are looking to fill their rosters. So I just wanted to kind of bring you guys the list of people that are reportedly or for sure going to be a free agent by the end of this year, and kind of just speculate with you guys on where they could and should wind up. This list is comprised mostly of ROH talent. A ton of guys signed deals in December of last year to make up for the fact that Cody, Kenny, the Young Bucks, Daniels, Kazarian were all leaving. So Ring of Honor signed a bunch of new talent to 1-year deals, and they're pretty much, all their contracts are running out. And Ring of Honor has kind of been a dumpster fire of late. If you've heard the stuff with Greg Gilliland and Joe Koff and all the different stuff that's been going out with Joey Mercury and Kelly Klein and all this stuff, Ring of Honor has been falling off. Their attendance is falling off like crazy. They're barely filling seats now. Their TV series went to a clip show instead of a wrestling show now, so that's lost a lot of viewers. They're really not doing well, and so they're going to be losing a ton of talent coming up here and kind of trying to restock the cupboards. Plus, WWE, as of yesterday morning, I'm cutting this on a Monday, as of yesterday morning, they released some talents, and there could be some more to go. So that list comprises up what I have here, and we'll see. First of all, I want to start with the guys that were cut by WWE yesterday. Luke Harper is the biggest name on this list. Luke Harper asked for his release several months ago, and was finally given his release yesterday. This guy's a main event talent. He's got everything. He's a big, natural size, a big guy, has a great look, has the long beard. He's got, height and girth to him. He can brawl. He looks believable in the ring. He can fly. He's super agile for a guy his size. He's got underrated mic skills that we didn't get to hear in WWE. They never really pulled the trigger on pushing him. He did some Wyatt family stuff, which was good, and then he went on his own, and he wasn't pushed very long. He was given a Survivor Series main event 1 year. Then he was involved in the WrestleMania program with Wyatt and Orton, but he was never really pushed beyond a very brief Intercontinental title run and a couple of tag title runs that kind of came and went with injuries to himself and Rowan. So Harper is a main event talent who could do multiple things in the ring. Again, good talker, good personality, brawler, flyer, he's got it all. And I think he's going to be a top-level guy to anywhere he goes. And while I think he could be a benefit to NWA because he has like an old-school Bruiser Brody feel to him, he could be a wrecker main eventer there. MLW could benefit from another big guy. They've been losing a lot of talent recently. I think he could be a big fit there and trying to get some angles with their hardcore guys. But I think AEW is his biggest fit. I know that AEW does not want to sign a lot of WWE cast-offs. They don't want to be a Vince McMahon reject company. But Luke Harper is just too good. He's too talented. He was Brody Lee in Cara. He did some stuff in all the different indie companies, Evolve, PWG. He was a big guy in a lot of these indies. I don't think he was in PWG, but he was in a lot of these indies. He's got indie credibility. He's now got national Vince credibility. This guy's got everything, and I think AEW is the right place for him. I don't want this to become too much of an AEW list, but again, they're offering the most money, and they've got the biggest exposure rate right now. And AEW did a lot for Shawn Spears, taking him seriously, getting him back to a certain level in the mid-card right now. They've done a lot for Jon Moxley, and I think they're going to do a lot for Brody Lee, Luke Harper. I think he's a main event talent waiting to happen. And with all these dark gimmicks AEW has right now with Dark Order, he could be a leader for Dark Order and be their main guy. He could be in the Nightmare Collective with Brandy. He could be in this new Butcher and Baker thing. He could be a leader for any of these cult groups and be the talker and be the central focus point and trying to recruit new guys. So I think Luke Harper to AEW is a great fit. Moving on, Sin Cara was cut yesterday as well. He has been injured a lot. He's botched a lot. It's the second Sin Cara incarnation, but he has not made the most of his opportunities between injuries and just botching and getting himself hurt and just having a rich history of falling short for WWE. But I think he's going to go back to AAA. This is where he once worked before he went to WWE. He's a natural fit as a luchador. Again, he was known there before. Now he's got some name value with Vince. I think he goes to AAA, and AAA is working with MLW right now, and they need more name talent. So with them, those guys having a working agreement, it makes sense that Sin Cara, as Hunico, I believe, would go back to AAA and work stateside for MLW that has some Vince connections. So I think he adds a name value guy to MLW's roster, and they can give him a second chance. He fits in with their middleweight division with some of the guys they have there now, with like Airwolf and Myron Reed and some of the other high flyers they have in that company, Kodo Brazil, Gringo Loco, guys like that. So I think he could be a name guy for MLW and a big name to get over in AAA. Ascension were also cut yesterday by Vince. I put question mark. I'm not quite sure where they belong. They were kind of devoid of charisma. They're not the smoothest in the ring. After NXT, used them to the best of their ability. They never really got a shot in WWE, but they also didn't show they were worth much of a shot. I put possibly NWA. That's the only place that I could see them fitting here. I don't see them fitting in Ring of Honor, Impact, maybe Impact, but I don't see that. I don't see MLW. I don't see AEW signing them. They have too many tag teams as it is. So I think NWA. I think Dave Lagana and the guys behind NWA like big guys. They're looking for more name guys, even if it's like smaller name guys. They're using a lot of ex-TNA talent. So I think Ascension, being bigger looking guys, having the rub from WWE television, I think they could fit NWA, because NWA needs more tag teams to fill their division out too. And they like guys with size. They have guys with a bunch of size now. So I think Ascension, if they're going anywhere big, it could be the NWA. Now we go to the Ring of Honor talent. There's a lot of Ring of Honor talent here whose contracts are due up. So we'll get to this pretty quickly. Number one, Marty Scurll. His contract, I believe, runs out after Final Battle in December, so he's got about 2 weeks left on his deal. I think AEW is the obvious choice here. NXT wants him, obviously. ROH is going to try to keep him, obviously. He's their biggest name. But this guy is a main event star. He's obviously part of the Elite. He's still on the being the Elite package to start that show every single week. He's best friends with them. They could use another main event guy. I think he's an obvious fit for AEW. I think Scurll goes there, obviously. Jeff Cobb, another ROH main eventer that has been TV champion. He's a big guy. He's agile. He's got personality, but he's especially great in the ring. He's got Lucha Underground, PWG exposure, Ring of Honor exposure. He still wants to work New Japan. That's his biggest thing lately. He's been saying he still wants to work New Japan. So I think AEW is the best fit for him. Ring of Honor's already done pretty much what they can do with him besides make him world champion. NXT is going to throw a lot of money at this guy for sure. But I think AEW and New Japan makes the most sense because AEW has a precedent now for not only offering big money deals but letting their guys, certain select guys, work New Japan. They're doing it with Chris Jericho. They're doing it with Jon Moxley. So I don't see why they wouldn't do it with Jeff Cobb. Again, AEW is going to get a lot of names on this list, but it's because they have the most exposure with TNT, national pay-per-view. They're offering the most money with Tony Khan, and they're offering guys deals to work elsewhere. So not only do you have to not be restricted to just work for Vince, but you can also work indies with AEW as well and make really good money on national TV. So I think he continues to work New Japan on that certain deal like Moxley and Jericho have, but also goes to AEW, and he could be a main eventer in AEW. They could use more big legitimate guys who can fly around. So I think Cobb's a good fit there. Kelly Klein is another one that I think is going to AEW. She's already been released by Ring of Honor, or her contract has not been renewed. Her husband is BJ Whitmer, who works backstage for AEW, and AEW needs more women's talent to fill out their American side of their women's division. They need more talent that's well known. Kelly Klein is well known. Her husband works for the company. I think she's a natural fit there. Although MLW is looking for more ladies for their new women's division as well, so it could be also MLW, but I think AEW is the natural fit here with her husband being there and those guys needing talent. Bandito Jr. is out there. He wants to. I don't think he wants to sign anywhere. Although I think AEW is going to offer him big money. He worked the first the All Out or All In. I think it was All In. He worked the main event with the Young Bucks. They're good friends of his. They got the most money again. NXT also was going to offer Bandito a lot of money. But I think since he wants to work a lot of indies, he can get the deal that Pentagon and Phoenix have, where they still work different indies and are signed there. So I think NXT is a possibility here, but I think AEW and indies is going to be the specialized deal Bandito gets. Brody King, I think he goes to NXT. I think he already kind of burned his bridges with MLW. He left there to go to Ring of Honor. I think he winds up getting released. I think he's over Ring of Honor. I think NXT is going to offer him. He's big, he's agile, he's got a great grunge look, he's tatted up, he's athletic, he's physical. I think he fits with NXT really well. I think he winds up going to NXT. Shane Taylor, he's the current TV champion in Ring of Honor, but I think he's gone too. All signs point to him being gone. I think NXT is a natural fit for him too. I don't think he fits with MLW or NWA. Or really Impact, or even AEW. I think he goes to NXT. He's another pretty agile guy. He's improved a lot on the microphone. I think NXT is going to like his mic skills. He's got a good brawler thing, but he's also an agile guy for his size. I think he really fits well in NXT. The boys, Dalton Castle's boys. So the next couple guys on this list, they were on Joey Mercury, who got fired, who recently left / got fired from Ring of Honor, who used to work there as an agent. Released a list from Joe Koff's text messages, or maybe it was Greg Gilliland's text messages, that said these guys are getting released at the end of the year. And they were on these next several guys were on this list. I don't know if it's legit or not, but it comes from Mercury. They came from a Greg Gilliland text, so these guys could be available. Dalton Castle's boys, they tried out for Vince in a NXT training recruitment video back last weekend, so I think they go to NXT. Colt Cabana was on that list, so if he does get released, he's already in the NWA, and I think he's actually NWA the mid-card champion there, so I think he stays with NWA and puts his eggs in that basket. Rhett Titus was on that list. He has not done much for Ring of Honor lately, but I think he has the size and the intensity that NWA would like. They like big guys that have some name value, and I think coming from a long-time Ring of Honor contract, I think Titus has the name value and the size they're looking for there. I think he goes to NWA. TK O'Ryan, I think he's an indie guy. I don't think he goes anywhere special. He's also got some size, but I don't see much in his total package. Maybe NWA or MLW, but I just don't see it. So maybe just kind of local indies and possibly popping around MLW at some point. And Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, who's a very underrated wrestling talent, has gotten better on the mic and has a very good technical in-ring aspect that a lot of guys don't use. He's a catch-as-catch-can style guy that a lot of companies don't have. So I think he winds up being very good going back to Evolve. He was in Evolve before. I think he goes back to Evolve and possibly then eventually uses that to go to NXT. But he's a very underrated name on this list. So those are the names that I have. Of the names that I have, who are you most excited to see jump places? Who do you want? Which guys do you want to see your favorite company sign? And who do you want to see go where? Put these guys on the list in the comments below and tell me who you want to see go where and who you're most excited to see go somewhere else. I'll see you guys soon.